Y'all, this is going to be a spicy one because I just have a general question that I would like to address to the entire room. What the hell are we doing? Across the board, what the hell are we doing? From a standpoint of the America Fest, from the standpoint of right-leaning influencers and thought leaders, from the standpoint of our politicians, what the hell are we doing? Is it because woke is perceived as dead and now everyone just can't figure out who the monster is to get all the content that they're used to producing, so they need another monster? Is it the fact that they're really not wanting the Republicans to win? What is going on? That's the underlying question, because I'm about to walk you through some hard truths that some people really need to hear, and I hope you guys understand where this is coming from. Everything will be linked in the description box below. Of course, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We have got to talk about so many things. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video, to be quite candid with you. So let's just get going on this. You guys, of course, can follow me on X, at Braden LOA, if you'd like, but we're going to talk about some things that I simply don't understand. Okay? I know you guys are on Team Conservative, Team Country, Team Patriot, Team Right-Leaning Independent, Team MAGA, Team whatever you identify yourself as. The bottom line is you're not on Team Dem because they're whack job, lefty, crazy people. And we have, oh, good Lord, it's so much is popping off. Let's just get right into it. And this is Nancy Mace. Okay, Nancy Mace, of course, the congresswoman from South Carolina. She's running for governor. Okay, fine. I have no problem with Nancy Mace. I have no problem with any of the individuals that we're about to address and talk about in this content. In fact, I really hope that they all get in line together and realize that the threat is bigger than themselves. But anyway, let's keep on going to this. Nancy Mace is a sitting congresswoman on the Republican side. She's about to say something on Dave Rubin's show that I don't think that she should necessarily be screaming from the top of her lungs in the way that she's doing it. Okay? We're going to address the whole thing against nothing personal against Nancy Mace, but honest to God, when we're in the scenario that we're in, you probably shouldn't do this. Take it away, Nancy.
We're going to see it, the House, we're going to lose the House, and it will be a bloodbath. And we will have earned it because of the lack of productive work fulfilling the conservative agenda. What Nancy Pelosi did, and I vehemently disagree on everything, she was ruthless. And she knew that the speaker's gavel was temporary and that at any moment it could be gone. And so they shoved through the most progressive ideological policies known to man on this earth. They shoved that through and got it to Biden's desk to be signed. And we don't have that same thing. We get elected and we get scared of losing the election. So we moderate to the left, trying to keep independents and moderates. But I don't think we understand as a party that conservatives can win. I mean, Donald Trump won in a landslide on a massive conservative agenda.
Okay, so again, I have no problem with Nancy Mace. I never met her, no issue, whatever. Comparing the success rate to Nancy Pelosi and the Biden administration, when you're missing the very obvious underlying principle of they got their face stomped on, is kind of an interesting perspective. And to use that as a supplemental point of fact to say that Republicans are going to lose the House in a bloodbath, that doesn't really check out in your reasoning, right? Now, I want everyone to have their say. I have no issue with anyone having a opinion, a conversation. I want to hear all opinions. Some will be discounted because they don't seem to hold water. Some will be endorsed because they seem to hold water. It really is that simple. What is the best thing for the country? What's the best thing for our nation, our generations behind us, for the children, for the next generation, everything? What's the whole overlying principle of that? But if you have a problem, and this is just me personally, and this is kind of the way I try to run my channel, if you have a problem with something that's happening, don't run to a camera and say, hey, Republicans, there's no point in voting. It's going to be a bloodbath. I mean, we're going to lose 100% and we deserve it. Who is that going to motivate to move forward? Right, and there's lots of clips we're about to go through. It's not just Nancy Mace. It's just a point of example. Who is that going to motivate to either do better in the Republican caucus or the Republican chair or the Republican whatever, or to get voters out to vote? What is that going to do beneficially for your side other than just position yourself to be the person saying, we're going to lose in a bloodbath 11 months out from an election, when I'm about to show you tremendous amounts of things that don't have to lead to that outcome? This is the entire point of this whole video. We cannot continue down the road on the right of what we're doing. A lot of the influencers that I'm about to allude to, I respect, and I fully believe they have an important part in the movement of what we're dealing with. But you can't go down this road of burning everything down because you just felt like you needed to say it. There are implications for your words, and then to espouse Nancy Pelosi's ideals, which then ultimately led to a complete and total disaster. In the first time with Donald Trump 1.0, and the second time with Biden getting smoked beyond all measure in Kamala Harris's election, that doesn't hold a lot of water. I mean, the brutal reality is you cannot win an election without independents. Independents voted for Donald Trump. They are part of that coalition. So a lot of the things that she's espousing don't hold a lot of water. All it does is demoralize people. I understand frustrations. We'll get to that in a second. But at the same time, you can't go down this road of just no one even try from your elected representative. All right, let's keep on going. Let's keep on trucking. This is some of the reasons that I say this does not have to be the outcome. And one of the important pieces is we can't keep doing this infighting stuff because it does not help. It is not beneficial. It is a massive turnoff. The Democrats did the exact same thing on the left under Biden, and look where it led them. Okay, they did the exact same thing. I can do an entire video expose on it if you want. You can let me know what you think in the comments. This right here. Breaking, 73% of voters disapprove of Democrats in Congress. The worst rating Quinnipiac has recorded for them since it began asking the question in 2009. 73%. And you think that that's a guaranteed bloodbath. Why would you... This doesn't help anything for the causes that you claim to espouse. And again, I'm not bashing Nancy Mace. I'm not questioning her credibility or her bona fides. I'm saying, why do that? That does not help. That's my point. The delivering of this message when it could be delivered in a constructive manner doesn't help. Just in, devastating new poll finds men absolutely despise the Democratic Party with a whopping 62-point approval rating. Only 15% of American men approve of Democrats, while 77% disapprove. That's half the population. You want me to go back one more page? 73% of voters, 62-point minus approval with men. I'm not looking at this and saying, oh my God, we're doomed. There's no chance in hell, and it's going to be an absolute guaranteed bloodbath 100%. I'm not seeing that, but I'm not an elected representative. Let's keep on going. We got even more of this stuff. 2026 Cook Political Report House ratings, and I'm going to show you the real brass tacks of what's really at risk here, and I'm not going to give you any of the bull crap. Because everyone says on the left they're going to take 40, 50, 60, 80 seats. That's not going to happen. Nancy Mace is on there. It's going to be a bloodbath. That is likely not going to happen. I'm never going to make a prediction. I'm just telling you the facts on the ground. Here is the actual Cook Political Report House ratings that are safe seats and toss-up seats. There are 17 toss-up seats. 17. So if you've got 210 safe Republican seats and 208 safe Democrat seats, that means you're sitting at a +2 advantage before those 17. So even in a worst-case scenario, and all those House races stay the exact same as the Cook Political Report House ratings ranks them, you're talking about a +17 or +15 in a worst-case scenario absolute defeat. That's not a bloodbath. And that's not even including the elections. That's not including any of the economic indicators. That's not including any of the improvements. That's also not including 11 months out from an election. We need to seriously get better at this on our side of the aisle, because what we're showing here is not representative of that fact. This is another piece of data which could be bad. Congressional ballot, newest one, +16 for Democrats. Okay, that could be a huge outlier. That could be real. I don't know, which is why you grind every day like you're losing, you vote every day like you're losing, and you don't have your leaders in the party go out and say, don't even try. I spend my whole life on this freaking app trying. Like, it's really disheartening. And this part is the other piece of this. And we have such an incredible opportunity. Because once woke was perceived as no longer a threat, everyone started looking for their own little monsters. And that's the truth. Because everyone started looking for their own little monsters to go after. And when you can't find any monsters or you go out of business, you're just going to make up your own monsters. And you can plug that in however you want. You can put it wherever you want. You can assign it to whoever you want. I'm not going to say any name specifically. Tim Pool right here says something very interesting. If this is what the MAGA movement and the political movement on the right becomes, I am not interested, nor will I seek to be involved in any way with whatever that is. The fracture of the right is demoralizing. And I'll probably do many, many more videos on this. But I'll tell you honestly, guys, I don't actually see the right fracturing. What I see are two different thought processes coming out of the right. And the people who were there to fight woke don't have a place anymore because they don't have a monster anymore, because even the independents who they brought into the coalition were against woke. Everyone was against woke. It was the independents and the right. And just because you were an independent or just because you were a nonpartisan and you were a traditional liberal or a traditional independent and you didn't like the Republicans but you hated woke more, that doesn't mean you're the right, right? Because a lot of the people who are espousing and fighting and finding these new issues and going after each other inside the party, a lot of them aren't basing most of their arguments on constitutionality. A lot of them are basing them on a lot of different things. And I'm not the gatekeeper of what is right, what is center, what is left. That's not my responsibility, nor my job. That's y'all's job. But honest to goodness, when you see someone being concerned about removing completely from a political process, again, it's a demoralizing position because you're looking at people getting out of the system of which their vote is supposed to influence. If you've got influencers infighting, if you've got Nancy Mace saying it's going to be a bloodbath, everyday Republicans and every day across the board is just going to say, whatever, who gives a shit? I don't care. It doesn't matter. It does matter. It matters tremendously. But you can't go down this road of just everything burned to the ground. It's just not feasible. It's not possible. Let's keep on going. I got something else for you. So this is what happens without Charlie Kirk, Tim Pool says. They killed him and they succeeded. The right is becoming fractured trash. Again, talking about this Politico post, which highlighted accurately the MAGA infighting that happened at Turning Point USA's conference. I'm not going to go down any of the names because I respect almost every single person involved in this. I've been a consumer of every single person involved with this for many, many years at this point. But I can say, I don't think that it's a good idea for our politicians to be going out there and pulling the rug out from under anything that is possible and what can be achieved. And I don't like our influencers and our thought leaders on the right side or the conservative side of the spectrum going at each other, calling each other names, while the left, which brought in the entire woke mind virus to begin with, is just sitting there being quiet in their complete and total lackluster approach of anything intelligent policy-wise. And they're just getting away scot-free because our people are fighting ourselves and saying how doomed we are all to failure. I honestly don't know. I don't even know what I'm going to call this video, but I hope I'll land the plane, guys, because I think that this is an extremely demoralizing thing to watch. And I can tell you, I have a very small channel compared to a lot of these people, and I'm not going to get devolved into it. I just hope to God we can pull out of this because this does not bode well. It doesn't look good. It turns people off. It's vote repellent. It's not cute. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. I kind of laid it all out there for a second, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. Later.